Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm from Jenny Card Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. My YouTube channel contains content that is intended to share paper crafting tutorials and inspiration with all of you. I hope that you enjoy. So I have this Gina K Designs little cutie stamp set. I've never used it before, but I'm going to pull it out and do some Copic coloring and make a beautiful card. I love the elegant script style writing and simple sentiments here. It's so cute. Alright, so I'm going to start with my Jen-Velope template reference book. If you've never seen this before, this is a book that I've designed for card makers to create envelopes, boxes, card projects, and so much more. So in this book, I'm just going to flip to the A7 section and I'm going to create an A7 envelope with a piece of Gina K Designs 100-pound cardstock. I think this is the mid-weight. I think it's 80-pound. Gina K Designs 80-pound sweet mango cardstock. So I'm just going to grab a score tool and I'm going to follow the measurements on my template reference guide and we're going to create a beautiful envelope. Super simple, and I'm going to walk you through this right now. So I've got a piece of cardstock, regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. I'll pull in my scoreboard and I'm going to follow the steps across the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to make my first scores, as it mentions here. In the template guide, it says short side. So there's a short side and a long side to cardstock, to this type anyways. And across the 8.5 inch side, we'll score at 1/2 inch and then at 8 inches. Then I'll rotate my cardstock one turn to the left and I'm going to use the second step and score at 2.25 inches and 7.5 inches. And that's going to be it for our scoreboard. So now following along the guide, you'll see the areas marked in red. We've done step 1 and step 2. Now we're going to do step 3 and we're just going to cut off those 4 corners as marked in the template guide. So I'll just do this very quickly. I'll run through, take some nice sharp scissors and cut off those 4 corners. Step number 4 is going to angle cut the little corners just so that we have easy folding and nothing is sticking out, and super simple part. So we're just going to angle cut these 4 little corners. So I'll do that very quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like a 45-degree angle or so. Okay. And now we'll just need to crease all of the folds. So I'll use my bone folder and crease all of those folds. And you'll notice that our envelope now has a larger flap and a smaller flap. The larger flap is where we're going to add adhesive to seal the envelope bottom together. So I'll just apply some nice strong adhesive to those side flaps there, fold it up and press into place. I'll use my bone folder again to get good contact on this adhesive, press everything in, and that's it. Here we go. A little bit of excess on the edge, we can just use the scissors and trim away. And then the next step in the envelope guide would be, actually I think step number 5 is to round the corners. I skipped that and I went right to closing the envelope up. But we need to round the corner, and ta-da! I found a new corner rounder at Michael's. It was 30% off with a coupon, so I got it for a pretty good deal. I was really happy that I found a corner rounder because my other one was just about dead. And here we go. I'm going to cut off the corners and I'm using the 1/4 inch corner rounder on this corner chomper, and I didn't like it. I wanted something a little bit more rounder, so I'm switching over to the 1/2 inch and I like that a bit better. Here we go. Envelope is complete. Now we have a perfect 5 by 7 envelope that's going to coordinate really nicely with our card. I'm going to create a card base, and now in my template guide, if you flip over a few pages, there are some layers and the instruction guide on how to cut a 5 by 7 card. Okay, so all the measurements and everything you need is here. You'll need a piece of cardstock that measures 7 inches by 10 inches. So I have a scrap here and I just trimmed it down and now I'm going to score this across the 10-inch side at 5 inches, and then we'll fold and crease our score mark, and then we have a perfect 5 by 7 card. So this card is made from the same sweet mango cardstock, so everything coordinates together nicely. I feel like right now this is too much orange. It kind of gets lost. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling everything together to create a card project. So I've grabbed some stencils, and I thought I was going to use this Gina K Designs Fizzy stencil and some blending brushes and ink up some color on there. Now I used a yellow, I think I used Gina K Designs Wild Dandelion and a yellow blending brush. And I just wanted to ink up some soft color on this background. I mean, I could not show you this. This was completely pointless because I didn't use this background. But anyways, I just wanted to show you what I was making. Oh, also I'm using a piece of cardstock that I cut using my layers guide. This measures 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to rotate the stencil and add in a little bit of tangerine twist ink and just lightly blend over. And once that was done, I looked at it and I thought, oh, I don't like it at all. It just looks so busy and messy and just wasn't the style I was going for. I like clean and simple and classy looking cards. And I wasn't sure what to do. I was playing around for a good half an hour with the stamps, trying to move things around, see what I wanted to do, and I wasn't happy with it. So I loaded it into my MISTI. I thought, okay, here we go. Let's just do this. So I conditioned the stamp. I wipe off the manufacturing residue. And while this happened, I thought, I don't like this background. I'm going to flip this cardstock over. So I'm also using Gina K Designs Heavy Base Weight cardstock, which I think is 120 pounds. This is a great cardstock for stamping, ink blending, and especially alcohol marker coloring, which I'm going to do to these little cuties. So I inked up my stamp with Gina K Designs Onyx Black ink, and I got a great stamped impression, and it looks lovely. And now I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. I have 3 different colors of orange. I'm going to color these images in. I'll play a little bit of music, and I'll get you back on the other side. Okay, coloring is all done. I love the way this turned out. I'm so happy that I flipped this panel over and started from scratch basically. So I'm going to use some dot adhesive and adhere this down to my card base. You could use some dimension and pop it up, but for this card I'm just going to glue it right down to the card base, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm going to add a little bit of white pearls. I just find that it just brings such a classy element, and so I'll scatter those around in little groupings, and I'm going to grab a shimmer pen. I'm going to paint all of my little cuties, and I'm going to paint them with a shimmer pen so that they have a really beautiful pop. And then I'm going to use some Nouveau Crystal Glaze, and I'm going to glaze all of the leaves. I thought about this in hindsight. I thought about glazing the oranges and sparkling the leaves, but I did it backwards. Whatever. I like the way it turned out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I just want to show you some of that shimmer and shine here. I think it's so pretty. This card turned out absolutely beautiful. I went ahead and I used that same little cutie stamp set, and I stamped the envelope with some tangerine twist ink just to get a tone on tone look, and it ties everything together nicely. Here's a close-up look at our finished card project. I so enjoyed making this card. I haven't colored anything in a long time, and I love the results of alcohol markers. It kind of makes you look like a professional, and I know nothing about shading or coloring. I just had some fun, and I played and enjoyed myself. So why don't you go ahead and pull out some of these supplies of your own and create a beautiful project on this World Making Card Day. Card Making World Day. World Card Making Day. There we go. World Card Making Day. Thanks so much for joining me. Have yourself a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!